They are colors stitched into the wind. They are meant to separate one nation from another, but sometimes they end up looking similar. Borders divide, yet banners echo, and when they rise together, it feels less like distinction and more like déjà vu. Two flags, two continents apart, but almost indistinguishable. Blue, yellow, red, three vertical bands. Romania's banner was born in the 1800s. Revolutionaries carried it in 1848. Blue for liberty, yellow for justice, red for fraternity. It became the soul of a nation that would fight to stay whole through empires and dictators. A century later, Chad stood at the gates of independence. It needed a flag that carried hope and strength. Blue for the sky, yellow for the desert, red for sacrifice. The result looked almost exactly the same, so similar that Chad lodged complaints at the United Nations. So similar that diplomats had to double-check which one they saluted, but Romania refused to change. And so, to this day, two nations fly one face in two names. A flag that binds them in accidental kinship, but also permanent confusion. Red above, white below, two stripes, nothing more. Indonesia calls it Sang Saka Merah Putih. Its roots go back to the Majapahit Empire, a naval power of the 13th century. When Indonesia declared independence in 1945, it chose the same colors, red for courage, white for purity. Monaco's flag is almost identical, red above, white below. The difference is invisible to most eyes. Only the proportions change. Monaco chose it in 1881, taken from the colors of the ruling Grimaldi dynasty, a royal lineage on cloth. The two states are oceans apart, yet their flags could be swapped without anyone noticing. And when lined together at world gatherings, it takes experts to point out which is which. Even seasoned diplomats have accidentally stood beneath the wrong one. Sometimes the mix-up is laughed off. Other times it sparks official notes of protest. Because for nations, symbols are sacred. Turn one upside down and you have the other. That's the relationship between Indonesia and Poland. Poland flies white above, red below. Its colors come from medieval heraldry. From a white eagle standing on a red shield, they became official in 1919 after Poland clawed back independence from partition. But flip the Polish flag and suddenly it is Indonesia's or Monaco's. This inversion has caused real confusion at sporting events, at international meets, even in official publications. In 2017, a major international tournament printed Poland's flag upside down in its official program, labeling it as Indonesia's. The mistake went global, a simple rotation turning history and pride into an embarrassment. One simple mistake of orientation, and Poland disappears into another nation's identity. That is the danger of minimalism. Stripes are easy to sew, easy to recognize at home, but in the crowded sea of flags, a single flip can erase the difference between nations separated by half a world. Three stripes, vertical, green, white, orange. That is Ireland, a tricolor born in 1848, flown by revolutionaries, meant to unite a divided land. Green for Catholics, orange for Protestants, white for the peace that should stand between. On the other side of the world, another tricolor was stitched in 1959. Ivory Coast chose orange, white, and green. Orange for the savannah, white for unity, green for forests. The order is reversed, but the resemblance is striking. One flag looks like the other flipped around, and unless you count carefully which side carries the green, confusion lingers in every breeze. The Pan-African palette gave birth to even more doubles. Mali flies green, yellow, red. Guinea flies red, yellow, green. The same colors, the same vertical tricolor, the same era of independence. Guinea was first, 1958, adopting its shades to honor the new dawn of African freedom. Mali followed in 1961, echoing Ethiopia's heritage of resistance with the same hues. But the order alone separates them, one starting with green, the other with red. Swap the order, and Mali and Guinea become reflections of one another. And then Mali faces another twin. Senegal's flag is green, yellow, red as well. The same three vertical stripes, the only difference, a green star placed in the center of the yellow. That star is subtle, and when flags wave high above, it vanishes into the folds. Mali and Senegal share geography, language, and history, and their banners almost mirror that kinship. Yet for outsiders, the line between them is as thin as the thread of a star stitched in the middle. Red, white, blue, horizontal, equal. That is the flag of the Netherlands. Three simple bands, standardized in 1937, but rooted in the 16th century Dutch revolt against Spain. The orange of William of Orange was replaced by red, but the stripes endured. Luxembourg's flag is almost the same, red, white, blue, but its blue is lighter and its red is a little paler. The resemblance has caused debates for decades, so much so that Luxembourg often uses a different flag at sea, one with a lion, just to avoid being mistaken for Dutch ships. A difference in shade, a difference invisible when the wind bleaches both under the same sun. Central America adds its own case of mirror twins. El Salvador, Nicaragua, and Honduras all fly flags of blue and white. Two blue bands, a white stripe in the middle. Their origins are the same, all descended from the Federal Republic of Central America, a union of states that collapsed in the 1830s. Honduras keeps 5 blue stars in its white band, symbolizing the dream of unification. Nicaragua displays its coat of arms, a triangle with mountains, a rainbow, a Phrygian cap. El Salvador adds its own round emblem with bold lettering. 3 nations, one design, barely altered, each tracing back to a shared but broken union. To the casual eye, they are the same flag with different stamps pressed on. South America tells the same story. Colombia, Ecuador, and Venezuela all fly yellow, blue, and red. The reason is Simón Bolívar, the liberator who dreamed of one great union, Gran Colombia. When that state dissolved in 1831, each republic kept the same colors, a legacy of unity. Scandinavia writes its similarities in crosses. Denmark began the tradition with the Dannebrog, red with a white cross, the oldest national flag still in use. Norway followed, red with a white-bordered blue cross. Iceland chose blue with a white-bordered red cross. Finland, white with a blue cross. Sweden, blue with a yellow cross. The shapes are the same, a cross shifted to the hoist, symbolizing Christianity. The colors differ, but the resemblance is undeniable. A family of nations marked by shared history, stitched into geometric kinship. The Arab world carries its own echo. Egypt, Iraq, Syria, and Yemen all fly horizontal red, white, and black tricolors. Their origins lie in Pan-Arabism, a movement of the 20th century that sought unity through shared colors. Yemen's flag is plain red, white, black. Egypt adds an eagle of Saladin. Iraq once carried stars, now it bears the script Allahu Akbar. Syria has 2 green stars. 4 nations, 1 tricolor, each trying to be distinct, but all bound by the same palette of revolution and identity. Berlin. The world gathered for the Olympic Games. Parades of nations, banners raised high, but the two looked the same. Haiti, Liechtenstein, both red and blue, stacked horizontal. No mark, no crest, nothing to separate them. Embarrassment swept the stadium. The next year, Liechtenstein made a choice. A crown in the corner, gold on blue. Proof of monarchy, proof of difference. From then on, the twin flags were no longer twins. A mistake on the world stage forced one of the smallest nations to carve a symbol that endures to this day. Gran Colombia tells another tale of siblings, a union forged by Bolívar, gone within a generation. Colombia, Ecuador, Venezuela, all fly yellow, blue, red, but each bent it their way. Colombia stretched the yellow across half the field. Ecuador crowned the center with an eagle and shield. Venezuela scattered stars across the blue, 7 first, later 8. Stand them together, and they look almost identical. Stand closer, and you see the fingerprints of each nation, carried in small, deliberate changes. Austria's banner is older still, red, white, red, simple, bold, ancient. Latvia mirrors it with deeper crimson, the middle band thinner, almost bloodline narrow. 2 countries, 2 histories, but the eye catches only the resemblance. To diplomats, the difference is obvious. To the casual onlooker, Austria and Latvia could be the same nation across 2 corners of Europe. Another trio deepens the confusion. Russia, Slovakia, Slovenia, white, blue, red. The Slavic tricolor. Russia's is plain. Slovakia plants its shield with a double cross on blue hills. Slovenia stamps its mountains and stars. But in the wind, at a distance, they blur into one. At the United Nations, they hang side by side, and still, newcomers struggle to tell them apart. Farther west, a different mix. The Czech Republic, the Philippines, both carry red, white, and blue. Both use triangles. Czechia places blue as a wedge against white over red. The Philippines adds a golden sun 8 rays, and 3 stars for the islands. And in war, it flips the flag, red raised above blue. Two nations oceans apart, yet bound by geometry so alike that first glances confuse them. Even diplomats have admitted mistakes. Files mixed, emblems swapped, athletes marching under the wrong banner. In the crowd of colors, small changes mean everything. A crest, a star, a shade of blue, miss one detail, and a nation's face is mistaken for another's. Not every case is a true twin. Some are echoes. Finland, Greece. Finland's flag, a blue cross on white. Greece, 9 stripes of blue and white, a square cross in the corner. One a Nordic banner, one a Mediterranean hymn. Both speak the same language of sea and sky, not mistaken often, but when folded or seen in shadows, the kinship shows. Red, white, blue repeats again. Netherlands, Luxembourg, Paraguay, horizontal tricolors stacked the same way. The Netherlands uses bold red and deep blue. Luxembourg lightens both, almost pastel. Paraguay splits itself in two, one face showing its coat of arms, the other a treasury seal. Line them together, and even experts must look twice. Parades, diplomatic halls, sports events. Mistakes have happened more than once. A single flag flipped the wrong way, a wrong banner raised at a medal ceremony. 3 countries bound not by empire, but by color coincidence that refuses to fade. Then there is Africa. 2 neighbors are often mistaken for one another. South Africa, Zimbabwe. South Africa's new flag, born in 1994, folds 6 colors into one: green Y shape, black triangle, gold, white, red, blue. Zimbabwe, just north, carries green, gold, red, and black too. It adds a bird, a red star, but from the stands of a football match, the two blur. Both speak Pan-African tones. Both shout liberation, rebirth, struggle, and in the rush of sport or politics, confusion lingers. Even seasoned commentators have slipped, calling one for the other. A reminder that symbols, however carefully drawn, can merge in the eye of distance. Finally, the strangest pair of all, Nepal and Ohio. Nepal is the only country in the world with a flag not shaped like a rectangle. 2 crimson pennants, moon and sun inside. Blue borders sharp as mountains. A flag shaped like no other. Ohio, a US state, also breaks the mold. Its flag tapers into a swallowtail, stars and circles and stripes stitched across. Neither can be mistaken for another national flag, but together they form an odd kinship. The only 2 sovereign flags in the world that dare to reject the rectangle. They look less like banners of nations, more like signals cut from history's edges. Proof that even in a sea of sameness, a few dared to defy the rules stitched into cloth.